and welcome to this class. I am Nwubani Kirsten, and I'm taking you on the subject, security education. The theme of our class is Common Crimes and Security Management 2. Topic is Observing and Reporting Common Crimes. At the end of this class, you would be able to state the ways of observing common crimes, state the ways of reporting common crimes, and then you also be able to respond appropriately to common crime situations. Now, what happens when we fail to report a crime? If we fail to report a crime, it's as though nothing happened. And so properties may have been lost, lives may have been lost, but because we did not report it, it's as though nothing happened. So we are letting the criminal get away with the crime when we fail to report a crime. So he's free to keep doing as many criminal activities as possible. 3, we'll be giving the criminal the chance to continue committing crimes. And 4, we could live with the guilt of knowing he would have helped to prevent further crime. The police are the people that are responsible for dealing with crime. But remember that the police cannot be everywhere at every time. So you and I are like the eyes and ears of security agencies. This is why crime reporting is very important. Appropriate response to crime. There are 2 major responses to crime. They are crime observation and crime reporting. Crime observation simply means monitoring a crime. It is the first step to take in responding to a crime. Now, there are steps in observing a crime. The first step is to stay calm. This is because when your mind is in a state of disorder or confusion, you will not be able to give accurate or correct details of what you're seeing. So the first thing for you to do when you have a suspicious activity or you are somehow witnessing a crime right there in front of you, first thing you need to do is to stay calm. 2, consider your safety first. So in observing a crime, you may need to stay at a distance where the criminals do not see you. It is very, very important, as seeing you may cause harm or danger to your own life. If the crime is something that is happening very much around you, for example, there are armed robbers in your home, what you should do is to consider your safety first. Do not try to stop the criminals. They may harm you, or in worst case scenarios, they may kill you. So the best thing for you to do is to just consider your safety by refusing to be a victim. Then, the next thing in crime observation is to pay attention to your environment. And in doing this, there are factors to consider. The first factor is the physical setting of your environment. Okay? If you're in a place where you are watching a crime take place, you have to take note of that environment. Location, time of day. Is it taking place in the morning, afternoon, or night? You should also take note of the people, the number of people, their behavior, what they look like. For example, you may see a vehicle parked somewhere and you see people behaving in a certain manner. You have to take note of the number of people, their behavior. Are they panicky? Are they calm? Are they pacing up and down? What they look like also. You have to take note of maybe if they are looking rough or scary. Then another thing to look out for is specific items such as height, weight, hair and skin color, body marks if there are tattoos or tribal marks on the person. For example, you can see this is a crime. Someone is trying to get into a building. Then routine, how often are they moving, speaking, standing at a particular spot, or observing a person? Sometimes criminals tend to maybe stand at a spot or sit in a vehicle for some time, especially maybe when they are waiting for their victims or looking out for cars to snatch or waiting for a particular person to kidnap. So you have to take note of all these things. Then you also have to note the noise. There are times you hear something. You have to note whether the noise is coming from a gunshot, screams, glass breaking, or dogs barking. Sometimes when dogs bark continuously without stopping, it signifies that something is wrong somewhere. Vehicles. Here we take note of the movement of vehicles, especially those that you're not familiar with in the area. It's important for us to note vehicles because sometimes vehicles are used for a lot of criminal activities. A vehicle that you notice that you're not familiar with in that environment or in that compound. Maybe that vehicle is being used, for criminals to get away. Maybe they have their colleagues somewhere stealing or robbing people. Some vehicles are also parked because they are watching out for their victims. And so they are waiting for them to take that part so that they can hurt them. Some vehicles are also parked in some places because they are being used for surveillance purposes. They are used by criminals to watch and monitor what they want to do or look out for the people they want to harm. Then another thing to note is flow of activities around a building or vehicle. This happens most times in unidentified buildings or vehicles. So when you notice continuous and excessive number of visitors in an unidentified building or vehicle, it's something for you to observe. For example, you notice that a building is not an office, it's not a church, it's not even a mosque. And there are always people going into such places and coming out. It may be that drugs are being sold there or exchanged. It may also be that stolen goods are being exchanged in a place like that. So you have to be careful when you're making observations. Now, after you have observed a crime, you have applied all these steps, and you have also looked out for these factors we talked about. The next thing for you to do after observing is to report a crime. And there are different ways one can report a crime. One of the ways we can report a crime is by telephone call via emergency numbers. For example, there are some states or communities that have specific emergency crime numbers given out to the public in case of crime. These numbers are supposed to be called when someone or an individual notices suspicious movements or criminal activities going on. Another way that crime can be reported is by going to the police station. You locate the nearest police station around you and make report about the crime. Here you may need to give details of the crime. That is why it is important that you stay calm when observing a crime so that you don't give distorted details or the wrong details about a crime. So you can see someone in a police station giving report about a crime. Another way we can report crime is reporting as an anonymous crime reporter. Here, it means that you are not having your identity exposed. So if you're reporting crimes in this way, you are not giving your name, your house address, you're not signing anywhere, and you are not going to be called to be a witness in case of in a law court. And so you may report crime as an anonymous person. This is important because some people are scared of reporting crimes. So you may decide to report without giving your identity. Another way crime can be reported is via the internet, or what we call online crime reporting. Some states or communities have websites which people or citizens can always log onto when they want to report crime. So if you have your laptop or your phone that is internet ready, all you need to do is log on to the site, a form comes up, and you fill the form, primarily give details about the crime. And then this form definitely gets to the relevant authorities and they would launch investigation about it. With that, we've come to the end of our class. A quick summary. 2 major responses to crime we said are crime observation and crime reporting. And we said that crime observation requires staying calm, considering your safety, and paying attention to your environment. Then we said that crime reporting include calling the police department, going to the police office, reporting online, and reporting anonymously. A quick test to know how far we have learned today. The question is, which of the following is a way of reporting crime? A, considering your safety. B, filling an online crime reporting form. C, paying attention to your environment. Our answer is B, filling an online crime reporting form. A and C are wrong because they are ways of observing crimes. So with this, we end our class today. Thank you for staying with me.